Hello, everyone. Oh, Haircut, thank you so much for the 44 months. Thank you. Wait, no, 53 months and the 44-month streak. That's even more. Wow. Thank you. And yeah, I'm ready to read this out. What? OBS, please. Please don't minimize. Happy to catch some tabletop talking. My friend and I completed our first entire campaign. It took 4 years, and the final session was at a real in-person session. Yeah, nice. Congratulations. I hope you had lots of fun with that. I'm always happy for people to play anything. Even if we go off on like certain games a lot, I would rather people play them than not play anything. Tabletop is so fun. Like this show is about the love of it, and the reason we harp on about many negatives that we perceive as negatives is that we want the hobby to be as good as possible. And yeah, the intro and the information is great, yes. So yeah. Hi everybody. I have no idea if my redeem's on. We're gonna soldier through it, we'll see. Jake, how are you today?
Yes. Doing great. Doing great.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah. So, we are still on the free games drive, and I found Stardrifter randomly shortly before our last show. So I never had enough time back then to look into it. So I was like, okay, on the first few pages they talk about D100s. They talk about like what I would describe as mega damage from Palladium. So this should be good. Yeah, we'll see, right, Drake?
Oh, yeah.
This goes. So firstly is a one-person like project by David Collins Rivera. It's also on his same name website. You can't see it, but here, if you want to get this game, you can just download it here.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's not even credit for like art, so I have to assume either he found free art he can just use, or he drew this himself.
It says in the credits free domain art. Yep.
Oh, there's credits. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, all right. Yes, right. Cover art by Ignat, so someone made a 3D model, and chief engineer. Books released Creative Commons attribution shared like international 4.0 license, so he does not intend to make money from it. He does write books which are apparently set in the setting of this.
Yes.
Not that this goes super deep into the setting, but that's fine. There's books, right? So you don't have to super describe it. Also, wait, I just realized something. Just 1 second. The cropping should be top like 90 so that there's no. Yeah. Okay. I think it's readable like this as well. Text, like the formatting in this is going to be basic, but it's also like quite the early version. I found it quite complete in terms of playability for this being this early. So I'm curious what he thinks a 0.1 version of this looks like.
I'm thinking stuff. Just, you know, like how we have in most science fiction or future things, stuff.
Yeah. The development home for GitLab. So he is also a nerd because he uses GitLab for this.
Yeah.
This is very much a hammer finding nail situation. If you don't know what GitLab is, it is like a versioning tool where you would upload, if you make a change, you upload it and you could revert to the previous version or pick and choose between them. This is very programmer brained.
Very much so. And honestly, with freeware RPG products like this, where you might be like, this playtest tests this additional rule or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a good way to go if you want something to be in development for a lengthy period of time and don't have like a very specific constrained vision, like you would if, I don't know, like the
Yes.
2D20 games. They don't need this.
Yes, as we can see, it's also like this is the last published edition, and it's like 4 years old at this point. So this is
Yeah.
just like a game he released, and probably like is if we go to the GitLab, we could see there's some changes, but he never released a new PDF of it. So I consider this the official release because we aren't gonna like go to the. Is there even a direct link to it on here somewhere on his website? He's writing a solo adventure as the latest news, which is cool.
If you go to the GitLab, the last updates are all from 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, this is the definitive edition.
Fair to say we are pretty much on a done deal for this, so it could be very playable. Is it fair of us to look at this for a full episode when there is like games per whole companies that pump millions into their games? Yes, because any game can be good. And hey, it's kind of publicity, even though like it's small publicity from us. But still, so it's free, and people have written about on the internet that this is a free game you can play.
It's also a contrast to the SCP Second Edition that we looked at.
Oh yeah,
because SCP Second Edition, everything's complete, everything.
Yep.
And there's plenty of this where sure there could be a lot more thrown in, etc. But looking at the difference between these two things, comparing them a little, and then going, hey, but still both are playable. That's huge. That's huge because we've looked at incomplete RPGs that are very not playable still.
Yes,
and we've looked at complete ones that are utterly unplayable.
Yes, we have seen RPGs by big companies that are completely trash. So I would say right now, this is playable. You can play this. This also tricked me into thinking it was something that wasn't, but that's fine. We have this table of contents. Like again, I feel like the main thing this book could use is just like a editing pass and layouting pass. So this table of contents shouldn't be 6 pages long.
Yeah.
Like this is something the program probably automatically gave him because every headline is just a subheading. But maybe we can jump to things. There's the dots, so the basics are here, the stuff we like.
Yeah.
And they put in your radar for TTRPGs, a little soft apocalypse game called DAM Nation by a guy called Luke Humphreys. I would be happy to take a link haircut, and we can, if it's free, we're probably gonna look at it because I want like looking at free games. I like it's very work in progress, but it's so good. Professor, it's a Kickstarter game, so official books are limited. Okay, well, the internet is bountiful with its bounty, as they say. So in his initial words about the game, he's very adamant about, oh, it's not a game for everyone. If you don't like it, don't play it. And it's supposed to be space opera, and it's supposed to play quick. And there you go. And if you have questions, ask him. He is available. And he does not want a rule for every situation because it's impossible. And I agree with him there. So it should be a general skill system that is applicable to stuff in general, and then you can the DM can adjudicate on the fly, and I agree with that philosophy basically 100%.
It's a good approach. It really is. The big problem that I have with D&D and Pathfinder Brain, it's worse than actually Pathfinder Brain, is having a rule for everything. And having everything set up so that you need to have a rule for everything. When you are focused more on storytelling and conjoined storytelling and blah, 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 it's much easier to get away with, hey, no, we didn't need to think of a rule for that. And then the rules you do have, you tailor to whatever the thing is. Like if you look at World of Darkness, the one game that it goes into really big detail about how far you can jump, Werewolf the Apocalypse, because it comes up constantly.
Yeah, exactly. World of Darkness is good, giving you the general, and then expanding upon what you will need to play the actual game. Yeah, what's the game at hand, which is kind of the perfect way to go about it for a generalized system. So he'll tell us here we need all the dice. We might have roll multiple of dice. We might add points to dice. We might roll D100. We might roll D1000 using 3D10. And I don't think most of this ever comes up again.
No, I don't think it does.
There's rules for explains how you roll above 100, which in this case here was with like particle cannon is D100 damage. And then a nuclear device goes up and does D1000 plus 500 damage, which I find very funny. And then 3D1000. I get it, man. It's enough examples. This is how far I got. I was like, okay, this game sounds crazy. We are gonna look at it on the show. Yeah. And then because he also like in the next bit talks about skills, save attributes, checks, and then like Jenna's the ground pound background, and during an adventure she lands on a terraformed world. Once there, she learns that the dam is about to burst on heavy rains. Jenna will need her engineering skill to stop a tragedy. Because of her background, she can get a second chance with any skill in which she is trained. Whenever she's on the planet. Like, I thought reading this is a really good quick rule. Like, just you are currently planet side, well, you get advantage fucking for everything, for skill checks, which is like crazy, but I like it. That's a bold like idea, and I'm here for it. And it also explains what a prime skill is, which is under all circumstances you can reroll, and they don't stack. Is the next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then now we roll up characters. How do we do that? We can look at the blank character sheet. I will actually open this book again because it's at the very back. And that was the moment I'm like, oh, why is it like this? Because it looks like this. Why is everything on the side except character name, creation date, game master, and player?
Yeah, that's an odd choice. Like if it was designed to be turned completely, great. But
Yeah.
only partially turned? No.
Yeah.
No. Don't do that, honey.
Yeah. Like we can see here, like I don't mind the design of it. It's like if we turn our heads, can we see the model do it? So we can see we have some weapons, some armor, some equipment. Not, in my opinion, for a space game, maybe not enough room for equipment. But I guess you can always just write down more stuff on a separate sheet. It's just like, here's your main shit that you will need a lot, and here's what it does. Then you have like several skills that you can roll, and then you have some attributes here. You have some ID number, which we don't know yet what it is. You have some saves, just physical and mental. Then you have armor, PR, you have movement, wealth, stamina, and hit points. And you have a background and agenda and whatever. Like, from this we can already infer a lot about the game. We are going to roll against attributes. We're going to roll against skills that we have. Skills are entirely freeform. There's not even like any pre-printed. So presumably we can have a character without like the basic skills that you would expect like someone to have, maybe. But they have like just academic skills or whatever because they're like very much a nerd. Page made for copy machine, mass producing. Yes, it even looks a bit washed out, doesn't it? Like that's the weirdest part for me.
It's slightly faded, yeah.
And then we probably like from the amount of like other mechanics on display, we have some saves with some armor somehow, and then like it doesn't seem to be a super complicated system, and in and of itself, reminiscent a bit maybe of something like World of Darkness. Like there's less attributes, and these are just the D&D attributes in reverse order. kinda.
Yep.
But the D&D attributes are fine attributes if you want to have some attributes for your game. Like there's a reason they exist. And then every weapon and thing has like very similar things apparently. A DC, a damage roll, a cost, a PR, SR, and a cost for armor, whatever these are. We're gonna learn. But it's like, this is fine. Number of uses for item equipment and cost, and then what they do. Yeah, sure. The sheet itself, like, it wastes a lot of room by doing all these bubbles, though. It's not really like it wouldn't be my favorite to use, let's just say.
Yeah, it really does. It has a lot of
Like,
the real estate is not well used. Like that's the best way I can really put it.
It's just weirdly designed for. It's 2022, right? It's weirdly designed for in-person play. Because how do you make this fill-outable and not look like shit?
You don't. Like, you just don't.
Yeah.
This is Omni-Man pointing at you. Like, you just don't.
You don't have to breathe in space. Like, why can you be choked out? And anyway, back to this. So, yeah. And then we pick any age or gender, and pick a name. They talk about NBs, non-binary characters, being in the game explicitly, which is cool. Congratulations.
And universally recognized.
Yep, giving some nice pronouns. No mention of aliens, which would have been like. I would expect them to mention aliens, so there probably aren't any. And then we see, okay, how do we make a character? We get attributes, we get saves, we get background, we get hit points and stamina points. And then we start with 8 hit points and 8 stamina, but they get modified. And then we have skills. And you get 4 points to. You can get skills, additional skills who have passed some sort of basic skills you free. So you get 3 free for extra. Get some money, then you can buy equipment, and that's a character. So it's very non-complex.
Yeah, it's non-complex, straightforward, and the whole point of it was, hey, this is how we can just jump into things right away, which there's so many games these days that don't want to present the step-by-step before they get into things. They want to get into things as part of the step-by-step, and I feel like that's slowly becoming a lost art.
Yep. No, like, yeah, absolutely, you are correct. It's just, this is straightforward. Also, there isn't any pretension of, you have to like learn some jargon to make a character in this game. Some games do that. Only game that is, I think, good on that is like Dune, where the jargon is in the setting.
Actually, you make a good point, because that there's a little bit of that in Shadowrun, and then there's of course some of that in World of Darkness. But in all those cases, the mechanics also flow into the setting as well. So this is a little more generic setting. So expecting you to memorize that they use this funny word for credits. Yeah,
they do tell you it's Q. For credits at some point, I think here.
Yep.
Yeah. So here, so stats. It's funny that the one stat they give actual like mechanics for in this section is that strength. You can lift 10 kilograms at under 1G per point of strength you have. Where I'm like, so I have like 4 strength then? I can't lift. Like, I don't think a normal person can just lift 100 kilograms over their head.
No.
Or chest height.
Nope.
Like it's okay, but I guess you're playing a heroic character, so who cares? No.
Yeah. If that's actually an interesting thing to mention, when somebody says in D&D, hey, 10 strength is average, does that mean the average peasant or the average hero? Like, that is a thing that we don't talk about enough in these games.
True. Alright. And then they give us 3 character make options. We either use character points, we roll dice and assign the numbers when we like, or we roll one die and obtain a pre-generated attributes from a list. Okay? So, first thing, we get 75 points, minimum 3, max 18, put in 6 things. So you have like a third, 50. You put everything to 10 and then you have 15 points left over to make stuff higher. So you can have an 18, a 17, and 4 10s or something like that. Sounds very D&D now, doesn't it? Suddenly. Yep. Suddenly we are D&D brained now.
Yep.
That's even more true because in the roll dice section we also see the same.
Yep.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
Yeah. The first generation method that was originally codified in the book Player's Options, Skills, and Powers from 2nd edition D&D.
Yes.
Like, it's taken straight from it because that one also says 75 points.
Yep. And then if we roll dice, we can roll 3d6, put them in any order, and make the lowest number 10. Or roll 4d6, drop lowest number from each die roll, and put them in any order. Or roll 3d6, and we then reroll any or all of these numbers, but you must accept the second roll. Or roll 3d6, put them somewhere and then re-roll if you want to, but it must the new number. This is the worst method. This sucks. Why is it like this? Oh, I want my am I gambling after I've already gambled? And then you can roll a d20 to get something from this list. And I'm not sure if these are like equal or not. They don't look very equal because this sucks. This is better. This is way better. Basically, look at where the saves are high. Those are the best ones. And this, but these are also like you can't rearrange them then because you get what you get. So why?
Yeah.
Sounds kind of strange. And 0-20, you get the best ones. Also, 1 is also pretty good, but middling rolls. I don't know. Now, these are options. Cool. Make sure everyone on the table picks the same one when you make it, because otherwise people are going to be upset. I don't know what else to say here, except suddenly we are playing D&D.
Yep, very quickly. This is very much the, hey, everybody knows this. Let's do this. And but not too fine a point on it. Most people are like this past a certain age, and I keep encountering this, and I keep wanting to look at them and go, "Why are you like this?" Because you don't need to do it like this. You really don't.
Nope.
But even in a world of 5th edition, people go, yeah, I will never use 5th edition. Never mind that. And then they go and they use 2nd edition. Like, what are we doing here, kids? Like, I know you're in your mid to late 50s. You've written science fiction novels, and you like have taught this system to your kids. It's okay to have a new idea about how to do this.
I wonder how old this person is. I don't know. I don't think they have information on here. They have podcasts. Oh my JavaScript is not enabled. Well, okay. So they also talk about the initiative differential, which is basically just take your number and subtract it from 20, and then the result is your initiative differential. Very simple. This might or might not come up when we roll initiative, I suppose, or do initiative. And you have saves, which you add together the mental and physical stats, divide by 3 and round up. So instead of having a strength and a dex and a thing save, you have 1 save for all physical and 1 save for all mental ones. And if you are very smart and very wise, even if you aren't very charismatic, you will have a high mental save, and so on. In a way, for simplification's sake, I like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm now thinking in D&D terms, though, where even in 5th edition, I'm like, who cares about strength save? You're rolling that once in a blue moon. You always roll con save and wisdom save. All the other ones are kind of not that important. So making it this makes it more samey, because most people will have like overall stats in one of the directions higher. So you're giving them more chances to be good at that. But then if it's a physical character, they should be good at physical saves. Why not? And then they give examples of how things work. You would just roll against a skill or attribute, and the DM gives you a modifier. So if your athleticism score of 1 is 14, means that your strength or dex or whatever it's based on is 13. And if it's a -4 to the roll, you have to roll a 10 or below to make it. So we're rolling low on this game.
Yep, roll under.
Which Sanat would hate, which is why he's not here. And then blah. It's sort of blah for like very simple rules, honestly, where we just roll under for everything. Easy. And then sometimes you can re-roll because you have the special things. And then it goes into backgrounds, which are different types of dude you can be. But before I go there, I want to say, hey man, have you ever heard of other games? Because I don't think D&D is what you want for your own game. Because like, no spoiler alert, I read this book, of course, for the show, and we are playing D&D, but we are playing level-less D&D with skill progression. And that's kind of it. There's no like space magic. There's anything you can do in the game is a skill, like hacking and so on.
Yep.
And there's no like feats or stuff like that, apart from like your class might give you a little thing that says like, look, it's so good at if you are like working in space is dangerous, you have a second chance to any save at all you can make. If you are spacer, lucky spacer, the result. Yeah, you must just re-roll any save because you're a spacer, like an old dog spacer. Cool. Okay. And then you have a training in survival in space, so you get half stamina damage from stuff that a save would inflict upon you, I think.
Yep.
Oh, you can be in vacuum for a short time. Okay, without super dying. So it's the classic move from the Expanse or whatever.
Yep.
And then the next guy, like they all get 3 skills. Like this guy get exosuit and a choice of one of these and a choice of one of these. And they start. The player chooses one of these as their character's prime skill. Start the game at level 2 in the skill for free. Wow. So you can, and the character is done at this point. Like if I explained it, these classes are all like this. Where they get 3 skills, they get 2 things that they do good. Like if you're an ex-military, you're good at mental saves for such stuff. Like I'm not even gonna go into it. And then you take less damage from certain things and you're paying good. Ground pointers are good on planets, and you have a bonus versus stun saves and so on and so forth. Very simple. And honestly, too simple to be interesting for any length of time.
Too simple, too general. There's also another thing that I've never brought up before on this show. And this is what I like to call the ranger problem. If you constantly give a bonus that was only present in a particular environment, then that person will only want to go to that environment.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have the spacer who only gets their bonus, gets a second chance with saves in space, then they want to stay in space forever.
I think spacer
and
actually
so
gets save bonus. I don't think it was in space. But who cares? Your point is still correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Since ground pounders want to be on planets, and X-Mills want to be in fights, I guess the campaign is going to take place on a planet where we fight.
Yeah.
If we are playing these classes. Because the bonuses are so general and quite good, because advantage is really, really good, you end up with like a lot of incentive to use them.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of incentive to not do anything else.
Yes. And sure, it's fun like to play out of your depth and be like, man, I hate it in the spin space. I want to be on the planet again. Like for 2 sessions, and then it's kind of, you've done it, and then you want to do something else. And then, okay, we are gonna go over basic rules, but I have something I want to do with this.
Yep.
So, hit points. You can heal 1 per day, naturally. You can heal faster with medkits and so on. With a skill. You have 8 hit points, and you have 8 stamina points, which are basically 10 hit points that everyone gets. And if you get attacked by something, you would always subtract from your stamina first. Your stamina comes back 1 point per 5 minutes of rest, or when you get any treatment. So, and only player characters have this. NPCs do not generally have this. So everyone has base 16 HP, 8 and 8. Yep. Then they get a bonus from their con, which we see here, where it's possible to get a minus. And the stam gets a lot more impact on that than HP, which is fine. So an 18 con guy has actually 12 hit points and 16 stamina. Yep. And then also modifies it with their background.
Yep.
Where spacers get more hit points, stationer gets both, and so on and so forth. Pretty easy. Hi, Kotsonia. Yeah, I'm good. We're talking about this game. Yeah. So the most hit points you'll ever have in this game is a con 18 guy would have at most, let's say we have an X-Mill character, so it's 13 and 17. So a total of 30 hit points. Weapons do D&D damage in this. So a D6 plus something. But armor directly subtracts from the damage. So actually this is more than you'd think. Yeah. Meaning we have recreated successfully the D&D experience of weapons doing nothing.
Yep.
But without another option to do things, because there's no magic or other things to do. Great.
Yep. That's why the most advantageous class to play is the X-Mill, because also you take less damage in a fight.
You take less stamina damage. Which, if you also have armor, means you take very, very little damage. Of course, good armor is expensive, but the game tells you outright in the section about combat. Armor is way more important than weapon for survivability in a fight, and I agree. And then we get to game progression, which is basically you get a number of character points per adventure that you do. You don't get them from fights. The game is very explicit about this, which is good. So you get 1 for survival, no matter what. You get 1 for pursuing your goals, or pursuing main goals, whatever that means. Your own or the adventures, I guess. Creative problem solving, good role playing, and then miscellaneous could give you 1 as well. You can erase an attribute with this, and have the con go up or other attributes go up. And your saves go up and stuff. But all you can do is 1 attribute per 1 point. You can learn up to 3 new skills, which cost 1 CP each. These must start at level 1. Or you might increase 1 or more previous known skills by up to 3 points per adventure. So you can just do the AD&D thing and super specialize. And I think
Very
that is the way
easily.
to go. Honestly. Like you raise the attribute, of course, because that's just good. Because you have to roll on those, and they also give you a point in more than one skill. But super specialization, because you can put 3 points into one attribute per session, if you get enough points, is absolutely the way to go. Like you just raise your attack skill, or you raise your hacking skill, or whatever, as high as you can. Apparently, no upper limit either. Also, CP cannot be saved. Expanding CP supervalue is not affect any skills already known. Oh, okay. So it does not raise the skill. That's interesting. I would say that doesn't make sense for physical skills, though.
It doesn't, and it's an added layer of complication to remember for later, because most normal things you think, oh, I raised my strength, I should be better at lifting weights, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
So this is the most direct example right here.
Yeah. Like, okay, sure, if you raise your intelligence in life and then you remember your high school classes on history, and you never read more history, you're not going to be better at history, but you can be like, wait, I have new insight. And it's still going to be higher technically, because you realize, hey, even from the stuff I've learned back then, it sounds like those Native Americans were kind of shafted way harder. What is this about things? Why did you only learn about Thanksgiving? Right? Like, it's not that hard to know. And this is the one art in this almost looks like AI. It's so weird looking. Like, he's grabbing the sponge background and everything is flowing into itself. I'm sure this is, this not AI, but it looks fucking weird.
Oh yeah, that's just old bad public domain art. Like that's all that is. I think I've seen that somewhere else before, except colored.
It looks so strange because like the lines don't even flow correctly, but well, it's whatever. And he explains skills, which work like you would think. They work exactly like you would think. But then they have, they have initiative differential for attributes. Who cares? I'm not going to explain that right now. You have your prime skill, which is, again, you can re-roll it under any circumstances. Rolling up to level 2 in the skill for free. Yeah, okay. Rolling a prime skill character to a second chance roll should they want it. Stunned characters may still use their prime skill at the normal skill score, not at half score. I'm not sure what stunt is. I assume it has to do with losing all your stamina points. And then he explains crit fails and crit successes, which also work exactly like you think at first, where a 1 is always a critical success and a 20 is always a critical failure, regardless of what you might have in the skill. And it's still good to have a skill above 20 or an attribute above 20 technically, because you might get a -2 to the roll. Like if you have 21 in it and you get a -2, you still succeed on a 19. Where if you had 19 in this, you would have a 17 or less to succeed, and so on and so forth. And yeah, 1 in 20 to crit fail, 1 in 20 to crit succeed. But also if your skill is high, and this is one of the more complicated things, and it is complicated for no reason except it's very wordily explained. If you're level 3 on computers with a skill of 13, noted as a 3/13, you would then, like if you get a -1 to it, it's a 12 you succeeded, which, okay, understood. However, the Gaia's play adds up her computer's level with the SID mod. It will be a 3 and a -1 equaling 2. So your total is 2. Adds 2 to the number 1 getting 3. So your crit rate's range is actually 1, 2, 3. And then there's way more lines. But what it means is you have a level in your skill and you have a number in your skill. And the skill level is your base crit chance in the skill. It only gets modified by the circumstance bonus. So if or malice actually. So if the DM says it's -5 because it's foggy and raining outside, and you have 8 in the skill, well, you do 5 minus 8 minus 5, that's a 3, and then add to 1, it's a 4. So your crit range is your skill rating plus 1 minus the modifier. So having a high skill is very, very good because you keep critting.
Yep.
Like you can raise it by up to 3 points. It's crazy. That's insane. Like raise your attack skill every time by as much as you can.
Yep.
And in 5 adventures, you're going to have like 50% crit chance. That's bit too good.
Oh yeah, it's really good. This is identical to the way it works in Fallout 2D20.
Yes.
With your tag skills. Yep.
Yes. Hi, Mod. To failure. Determine how many rounds will take to jump. Yeah, okay, then they explain what a crit fail is. It's fine. And then we have a long skill list with like explanations of what each skill does. And in some cases, you can base skills on either or.
Yep.
And that is your number. And the DM can't really tell you no, which is a strange idea to me. Because if my athleticism is dex based, then I shouldn't be able to lift weights with it. Oh, by the way, also if you have it, you can lift even more than 10 kilograms. Converted you into a me last night. I had to guess your height though. Well, it's fine. Thank you for making me. Okay, there's a bunch of skills. Let's just say like there's a lot, and they all work the same, and they explain what they do, right? And then they explain money again quickly. But it's like digital, but you can put it in wallets and then trade the wallets or trade the money between wallets. Blah blah blah. It's credits. It's just credits. And then they tell you a quick cost of living that you like spend about between 1 and 10 Q per day on cost of living. And then if you have a ship, docking is expensive. I think docking should be expensive, wink wink. And then there's equipment. Lots of equipment you can buy. I love that there's like this club from AD&D picture book. Holy shit. And here we see it does 1d4 damage plus 2 and 1d4 plus 2 plus stun if it's a stun baton. Hard object,
Right.
small, d4 plus 1. Yes, sorry?
That looks like a slingshot.
Yes, except it's in... Oh, yeah, right, because if you assume these are like... No, but it's like the what do you call it? Lash to have it all around your hand so it doesn't fall off your hand.
Yeah. I know what it's supposed to be, but oh my god.
Yeah.
It's still, yeah.
Oh, and stun is stun. So plus stun would mean it's a condition, aka like for D&D conditions. And you are stunned for d4 rounds if it hits you, I guess, sometimes. A mini grenade, 2d4, pistol, 1d6 plus 2, d8 plus 2 for a rifle, sword, d6 plus 2, gear. So a comlink for $1,000. Why would you, what? You get $2,500. Why would you buy? Like, okay, you need it for hacking, I guess. Like, I would probably just not spend it and just steal it from the first guy you mark. That's crazy. Pressure suit might be more important than that.
Yeah.
Simple vac suit if you're in a pinch. Toolkit. Attributes and slave checks. Okay, they explain checks even more now. I don't know why. Like, this is all just D&D. It's very easy.
Really
they do explain how saves work, but it's the same thing. You just roll under the save number. And sometimes the save number is the damage you take. Okay, fine. Cool, understood. And then they explain combat. And initiative, basically instead of rolling initiative, you just look at your initiative numbers and like compare those. So if you have Dex 18, your initiative number is 2, and you go before someone who has Dex 14 with a 6, easy. You might have more move with athletics. You can prepare a weapon, you can shoot a weapon, and that's kind of the initiative system and the combat. It's not that complicated because there's nothing to do except shoot gun or punch. And then, like, we didn't see armor yet. I assume they're going to talk about armor soon. Here it is.
Yep.
So
very soon, very quick.
Yep. Your armor, right? How it works? It has a PR rating, which is a protective rating and a structural rating. So flak vest is PR2 SR20. If a shot hits it for 4 damage, the flak vest takes 2 of the damage and reduces, like, it takes 2 because it's this PR, and then it has 20 structure, now it has 18, so it took damage for you.
Yep. It's it works, but at the same time, that section itself should say, and this is how you repair armor right away. It says characters with engineering may be able to fix damaged armor at the GM's discretion.
Yeah,
that's cool. I get it, but this is one of those situations where I get you trying to be general, but you might want to just like put something in there, like roll a check, repair this amount.
Kari, this is a one-man project. This having only clip art pictures is understandable. It's fine. And yes, it's HP for items. Also, we're playing D&D in space without spells and without special rules. And we are about to be done with the book, and then we are going to talk about what my verdict on it and what we should do instead. I want to present it and like just make clear that there's 100 pages of this that explain how do you play very basic D&D. Damage category, exposed damage, blah blah. DC, damage and healing. Again, you have stun points, they heal fast. You have hit points, they heal with medication. Sometimes special case, characters impacting large surface at high speed. So yeah, if this is fall damage, but it's called impact damage. And then you do some math. And also, in space, this is going to always be high speed because holy crap. Interesting, you can survive that quite well, honestly. Not that hard. Vacuum exposure is fair enough that it has a listing here because, well, it's a space game. Some drowning damage is some space vessels, ships, boats, and craft. Like the bigger, the more ship it is, basically. And those have some movement stats and so on, and you can fight with them, actually. Just cool. You expect the minimum of that to be there. You have, like, roles. There's a gunner role and pilot role and so on. And yeah. And we have a bit of explanation about time in the Stardrifter universe, which the year 0 is at 2100 for some reason. No, not quite, is it? I don't know. It looks like it, but it makes no sense. Wait, zoom in. 2188. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably not the thing that you should have done in incredibly tiny text. Like,
I bet it's in this tag. Yeah, it's
like, it's there, but
I didn't read this. Yeah. This is some explanation on days. Mm-hmm. Saturday is the 7th day now, and one day is Sunday for some reason. Why would this change? Who cares? And then we had dawn. It's very like basic. Okay.
Super basic.
Yeah. So, why would I play this? The author. The value proposition to me is, it's fast. I can just make a character and very quickly have them ready. right? I roll some dice, I write 7 skills down, I'm done. And we can play in like 20 minutes because we are playing D&D where we all know how that works. So there we go. However, we are going to play a version of D&D that is so simple that everyone is the fighter and everyone is just going to attack every round once if it's combat. That's it.
Yep.
There might be the one guy who hacks something. There might be the moment where someone does something else because the mission demands it. But we are all just pew gun shoot with like rifles and pistols. There aren't even cool laser guns in here. You didn't give us any.
Yep. That's why my analysis was stuff. This just needs stuff.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, there isn't even like, did I miss where the armor is? Oh, here it is. Like, we have some shields and a chest plate. PR 3/3. Like, what is the biggest armor? Why would I not buy the hard suit PR 4? Why would I not buy powered armor P8 SR200 for 1,500? You need exosuit, but everyone gets that almost, so you can just take it for free from the starting things. 8. What gun even does that much damage? Was there any guns that did that much damage? Any weapon at all that is 8? The club certainly doesn't. Oh, these also have, by the way, a DC. I forgot. And some armors apparently also have a DC. And then they are ineffective completely. That's in the fighting section. It doesn't really matter that, but let's just say a primitive weapon is going to go through your thing, and that's fine. So a knife is better at going through armor than a club. Yeah. But it's still against the hard suit with 8, it can't even do damage. A mini grenade that rolls max does 1 or 2 damage.
Yep.
Pistol doesn't go through. Rifle can do 1 or 2 damage. And that's it. That's the weapons. Like, what?
What? Yeah.
I can't put an 8 armor in your thing and then write weapons that do at most 10 damage. What? Like, why? Why?
Yeah. Right there with you. Like, this isn't a White Wolf game. You're giving us, like, exact dollar amounts for everything.
Yeah.
Like, you want us to track gear to some degree. This is presumed.
And even once you track ammo.
Not enough.
As an explicit rule, you shoot a D12 rounds from your gun.
Yeah, I can never control how many bullets I shoot. Like, I cannot tell you how much that triggers me whenever someone does a rule like that.
I think this is fine. I think this is fine, assuming like you aren't super skillful. Like I'm used to a Shadowrun thing where it's very regulated how many bullets it shoots. But in this, it's like, no, we are like unloading, and then we're going to see how many bullets that were. I kind of like that for a non-professional, like a rule for a non-pro at guns. But
yes,
you would just level your gun skill, right? But so my point is in this case, my Chunk, my starting character with 18 con and power armor, is never going to take damage. He's also an X-Mill. So it takes half stun damage. So the most damage you can do to Chunk, who also carries a ballistic shield. That's only 75Q. That's fucking crazy. Why don't I buy that?
What the fuck? It's only 75. What?
Chunk is actually completely immune until the shield breaks, whereupon Chunk can take 1 damage per attack he takes if the attacker rolls max. And the only thing that can actually hurt Chunk is crits. Because crits, how they work in this game is they roll double dice, which is just like D&D. But also, if the dice both roll shit, like if you let's say we shoot our rifle and we crit, it would be 2d8 plus 2 then, right? Let's go to the rifle. Not that I really need to, like, it's like, yeah. So it would be 2d8 times. So let's say I roll a 1 and a 2. That is bad roll, that's a bad crit. So the system says in that case you do 8 damage plus 2, 10. So if your 2 dice show below the max number for 1 die, it does that much damage, which is, in my opinion, a very good rule that D&D should adopt for crits. Because it sucks in D&D too when you're like, yeah, crit, oh, 1 into 3, great, I rolled that on 2d12, awesome. So my giant two-handed sword does a total of 8 damage. Wonderful. That's really impactful crit. We all love doing that. So fun to play this character. Because if it would be at least the 12 plus 4, you'd be like, yeah, okay, I can't complain about 16 damage. It's my average damage on this crit, so I'm fine. Yep. Like, good rule there. However, that's the only way you can hurt Chunk.
Yep.
And if this rolls like 18 damage, Chunk subtracts 10 and then takes 4 damage. And he has 3 total health, which is not a lot. There's just like, there's going to be quite a few crits to get Chunk down.
Crits. Yep.
And sure, the armor is eventually going to fail, but Chunk also has attacks. So unless we both have, and but okay, imagine this fight, 1-on-1. Both, not even Chunk, just normal guys in just power armor, shooting at each other with normal rifles, and they, like, how long it would take? Because your average damage is 6.5, and the armor, sure, it absorbs it, and it would go down, like this number would go down, but it goes down from fucking 200.
Yeah, 200. That's the thing to keep in mind.
13 for two hits, 13 it takes down on average. So you only have to hit them slightly less than 20 times for the power armor to break.
Huh.
And then suddenly they have no protection and they die very fast. Like, it's terrible.
It is pretty terrible. There isn't such a thing as, oh, my armor is partially damaged, so my PR goes down. Nope. As soon as the SR is depleted, your PR is 0.
And even if this rule was there, it would still be bad.
It'd still be bad, yeah. The general point is oof. Just a big oof.
Yes. This is like basically my big complaint about the system as written, is that we are playing a huge game of whack-a-mole, and we have to hope the other guy doesn't bring a shield and armor. Because if these stack, these clearly they stack, right? They have to. Otherwise, why would the shield even have these stats? So if everyone has shielded armor, okay, maybe then you can't use rifles because it's a two-handed weapon. It's a power armor though, so it should be able to shoot a fucking rifle one-handed. Whatever, not the point. The point is, don't put armor in your game that you can't even crack with the weapons you put in your game. Like, sure, there's probably a big minigun in the setting that does way more damage, but then put it in a book and make it expensive. And say at least once how much damage like a rocket rifle does, or a laser pistol or whatever. Like, where's the cool weapons? Where's the powered armor? And then we shooting people with AKs.
Like,
and not
we were promised D100 weapons.
Yeah, and it's not even like, it says rifle, right? But it's not a rifle. It's an automatic firearm. It's a assault rifle. Because a normal rifle doesn't shoot D12 bullets for one attack.
Yep. Now, I was waiting for you to realize why it triggered me.
Yeah.
If it's a semi-automatic weapon, how do you randomly fire 12 bullets? You don't.
You're very good at fanning the hammer.
Yeah, you're very good at being bad. Like,
yeah.
Like, that's what it is. Like, there's no other way for me to describe it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like most people who design these little heartbreakers are like gun nuts, so they wouldn't write something like this.
Yeah,
but this guy is not. So
this guy doesn't feel like a space nut to me, because he's way more interested in that.
Doesn't feel like a space nut either. I know.
Like, to be clear, many heartbreakers that are like, man, D&D has the problem that it's way not lethal enough. I'm going to make my system way lethal, and then it's going to be so fun. It's not. But those games, you're done fast with your fight. in this. Like, if your players aren't completely stupid, they're gonna have armor. Okay, maybe they won't buy the fucking power armor. Maybe they just buy the 4 armor thing, whatever it was called, the hard suit, right? It's only 4 4. It's still 4 from each attack, and the attacks are like 1d8 or 1d6. Like, and there's not even any thing for like, oh, you have 20 strength and your club does more damage. That doesn't exist. Strength in the system doesn't fuck all. It's only good for lifting 10 kilos for increment. Like the wimpiest guy ever could lift a large club and do 1d6 plus 2 damage. Like, this should be plus strength mod. And then you have a list for that. Easy. For all melee weapons. And then the power armor can say it gives even more for that because it's power armor. Because it gives plus 2 to the strength, right? Well, oh yeah, whereas immune to weapons to DC 2 or less. Meaning, what even can even damage the power armor? A mini grenade can, pistol, and rifle, and that's it. Like, what is this? Why is this? It shouldn't. Like, because again, it's gonna take you longer to adjudicate the fight in this than in real D&D at a high level, because there's no options that I'm being presented with. Like, the first thing my character would ask is, can I take 10 mini grenades and tape them together and throw them at the enemy so that this is over? I hate that we have been here for 3 hours rolling dice in this one hallway shooting like 5 bad guys who also have some armor. And I know those guys don't have the stamina thing, so they would eventually lose. But is that then interesting? Since you know you have your like buffer of non-lethal HP and the other guys don't. No, it feels kind of cheap. Why are we even, like, we know we are gonna win? I don't even have to roll this.
No, really don't.
Yeah.
There's also another thing. The rules at the start said we want this to be quick and fast hitting, and shooting this guy until we deplete all 200 of his SR or 300 or 400 or whatever of his armor. That doesn't sound very quick to me.
No. And again, even if we assume they aren't our power armor guys, we assume they just have flex vests or whatever on, it's still gonna, like, there's only a D6 for most weapons. A D6 minus 2 plus 2 is a D6 straight down. So we are rolling damage that is really, really fucking low. Like, it's just, no. No. Why would you do it? Oh god! Yeah. You can wear flak vest under the armor and it gives PR2. Oh my god, Chunk has 12 armor.
Welcome to your worst nightmare.
Chunk is never going down.
Yeah.
That's crazy, actually.
Yeah. And the PR2, like, so 2 of the damage is subtracted from the SR of 20 here, or is it subtracted from the over armor, or is it subtracted from the shield? Oh my god. There's a lot of numbers to track. I would assume that it's like this. If I take like the shot in the power armor, say I take 9 damage, say, then I reduce it by 8 here and by 1 here. Yeah. Which is, that's fun to have 3 hit point stats. Actually 4, because we have hit points and we have stamina points. Oh god. Yeah, it's really bad. Once you think about it even a little bit, because we haven't really like thought about it very hard, and here we are. That's why simplifying things into tracks, into so on, having armor just be a soak roll, or whatever, is way better. Drake, I think what this game really misses is a personal shield that just also has a bunch of hit points and to replete before the armor. Yeah, that also regenerates round and around. Yeah, good idea. It gives like I don't know. It's making a dice roll. It gives D10 back every round. Exactly. You have to put a battery in ever so often. Yeah, great. Yeah, even more points, more like rolling stats to track so that you can wear out your eraser and paper.
Oh gosh, no. Okay, I have talked about the system straight up. I think with different armor rules, it would be way more playable. I think as written, it's bad. But I also think this author, like, no offense to you, my friend, you did write this, and it's like by far not the worst we've seen. I just never would want to fight in it. You are missing the point of writing your own system if you're just going to write D&D again.
Yeah.
Because what D&D actually thrives on isn't the base rules. The base rules are bad. Oh, no, not bad. Bad is maybe the wrong word. The base rules are too simple. They are just not interesting. No one's done D&D just to roll like D20 plus number. And then roll a 1 and fail, or 20 in this game and fail. No one cares. What people care about in D&D is, oh, I get a cool ability when I level up. Oh, I get a cool spell when I level up. Oh, I get this special thing that only my class gets when I get next level. That's what people care about. That is why people choose their class at level 1 and then play for months to get to the level they want. Yep. Because they know if I'm a rogue, I have to eat shit at low levels, but at level 10, I get a reliable talent, and then I will be a skill monkey forever, and it's going to be great. Mm-hmm. That is what people play rogue, never get to level 10, and still had fun. Because they wanted to get there, but the campaign didn't work out. But it's fine. We had fun playing the rogue, right? Because we got other cool things during, like we can backstab and do other interesting things, and have like a list of a dozen or more abilities that we can use, and then magic items we can use, and other things that are all work together to give me a tool bag that is varied and like different per class. And in this, that's just not there. The classes have only 2 abilities each, and have the same amount of skills. Their skills overlap because there's no skills, but there's not enough for there to be like skill specialized guys that, like ground pounders get exosuit as well, even though they're the last guy who should probably get that. But who knows? They're piloting the loader from Alien or something.
Yep. That's exactly it.
So why is this D&D? And we actually had this topic since last session. The last time we talked about did a tabletop talk with Cherry. You might remember Cherry from Mondays.
Yep.
Who said that for her setting, people are developing like a D&D rule set. And then we both asked, but why? Because it's not designed for that. You have to write a lot of pages to arrive at that, and then it's not going to fit. Because what you want for a game like this is trying to be realistic, because having 8 hit points and 8 stamina points where a weapon does d6 damage in a vacuum is realistic. Like you take a bullet and you take one more bullet and then you might already be dead, but probably you can take a 3rd bullet and then you are dead, right? That's where we should be if armor wasn't there. You shouldn't be using D&D. It's not a good system to copy at all.
No, it really isn't.
And you shouldn't be using crits and stuff. This isn't, I don't know, this just isn't D&D where that applies. This makes sense. You want characters to have a high skill in something. You make that clear when you say you can raise a skill back to 3 points if you have enough character points. I think it will be somewhere. Who cares? We talked about it earlier. I think it's under the classes actually. And it doesn't really matter. So here it is, yeah. Right here. Can raise 1 more previously known skills up to 3 points per adventure. Why are you using D&D? Use something else. Use any pool-based dice system where your strength and dex and whatnot go not from 3 to 18, but they go from 1 to, let's say, 5. And so do your skills. And instead of saying athletics is based on dex or strength, it's situational. Sometimes you might use your strength, sometimes you might use your dex. And how it always works is take attribute, add skill, like add those two numbers together. Let's say you have a 2 in strength and a 5 in athletics. That's 7 dice.
Yep.
Roll 7 dice. What's the target number, GM? Oh, this is a hard roll. Let's say it's 7. Oh, okay. I got 2 successes. Nice. Because you get, what do you get for free there? You get good versus bad successes versus failures. Because if I roll nothing, it's a failure. If I roll a success, you barely did it, but you did it. And if you roll 2, 3, 4, 5 successes, it gets progressively more awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like,
the progression in awesome is a huge part of the reason why you want that for your little space game where things get resolved quickly.
Yeah. That is why, and you can't tell me for a second that that's more complicated than what we have here.
No, it's actually less, because when you do roll under systems and you expect people to also internalize, well, this is my core skill and I have level 4 in it, so I crit on a 4 or less. But I also have a -4.
Actually, so 5 or less strength. You did it wrong because you were 1 plus skill minus such minus modifier.
Yes. 50 minus. You get it. Like, there's a certain point where you're just like, can I fucking stop doing this, please? Like, if you're just counting up successes on your dice, like even if you're doing the bucket of dice, playing your troll and Shadowrun, that's preferable to this because you're counting your 5s and 6s.
Yes, and that's the other system we could just as easily use because it works the same. But in that, successes are always 5s and 6s, and you modify the dice pool instead. You could go that route. Oh, we have 7 dice for this? Well, yeah, you always roll on, I don't know, let's say on a 6 and up is a success, or below 6 is a success, who cares? And, you get -2 dice because it's a hard thing to do. That works less good if the dice pools are very low, because then you might get a situation where you can't roll anything, then you need to rule for that. But that's how Shadowrun does it. That's okay. It works fine there. Because usually the minuses aren't that high and you have a lot of dice. And yeah, you want either. So how would we reskin this to make it because this is not going to be the rest of the show. How would we, Drake and I, give this a spin as a dice pool system? Like this, I'm gonna go to the top and we're gonna look at not the very top. So we have the attributes. I think if we're simplifying, these can just stay.
Yeah, they could either stay or turn into 8.
Yeah, you could do 8. You could do the Shadowrun attributes. You could add reaction, and what is the other one? Intuition.
You could split up wisdom.
Yeah, you could. You could. I'm gonna say for simplicity's sake, let's say at 6.
Yeah, 6 is fine too.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, honestly.
Yeah. And now let's decide, Drake, which dice are we rolling in the first place?
If this was supposed to be our Heartbreaker space game where we're going to be a little different, but at the same time do something familiar, because that was the reason why they used D&D, I would just use D10s and just say, it's a lot like the storyteller system, but here's how it's different.
Yep.
And you just do that.
Yep. Let's say we roll D10s, and let's say the attributes go to 6, because why not? Then it's different from storyteller.
There you go.
And then you have you could CP can rest, who cares, pool of character points. Okay, and then we just have points. We don't roll anything anymore. We just have points and we put them somewhere. Let's say your average should be between 2 and 3. So let's say you get 16 points. 6 for to distribute. Maximum to start, let's say 4. Minimum 1, of course. You have to have 1 point in the attribute.
There you go.
So you could do 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 16. So 4, 4, 4, 1, 1, 2, or something like that.
Mhm.
So you have overall a pretty good and like exceptional character if you want to, and even if you make a basic guy, they would have 9, 11, 12, 9, 11, 13. So 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3. That's the basic stat line with 16 points. That works fine. Yeah.
It works fine. It works fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it doesn't. Their intent was we want this to not be complicated, but in saying that, but we also want it to be D&D, which people understand intimately. You went and making it more complicated than it needs to be. So that simplifies it immediately. If you look at your sheet and see that, oh, cool. And then what do we do with hit points and stamina?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's good.
Well,
wait, I want to, before you go there, I
yeah,
want to look at Freyakat's question there. Was this made on a time limit? I would say this was made by someone who played D&D and nothing else, and does not know what's out there. That is my read, because I really, really, really believe that someone who wants to make a space game with no magic, that is all skill based, shouldn't want to choose D&D for that thing. Really, it's just a bad fit. It is this. What the hell? Right, sorry, what were you going to say, Jack?
Oh, and then this just flows very easily into the next thing, which is hit points and stamina. You can still keep those. You can have your health and stun track. That's fine.
Yeah, totally.
How much of it do we get? Oh, just add your con to base number. Let's say 5,
Yeah.
6, or 8.
Yeah. Let's say, and it's just say 6, because we have said 6 for attribute max. So it's 6 plus 6, maximum 12. And then your I don't know, your wisdom is your stun track, and your con is your physical track. Or both is con, because con doesn't do much else.
Yeah, that's usually what we'll end up doing for that reason.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We don't need saves, because we can just roll on stats. What's the point of these average saves?
Doesn't matter.
And you could also average out the attributes and keep the saves, and then just have that there. But honestly, it is not really a simplification, these saves. This because the math you do, you have to redo it every time you raise an attribute, and it's not interesting. Like, it's very like I talked about it. Like, I don't like the saves in D&D because they're not created equal, but they are very easy to understand and very intuitive. In that, oh, you're getting pushed. Well, roll a strength save to not get pushed. Oh, you are getting bit. You got bit by a snake. Roll con to see if you got poisoned. Like, it makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
I have something interesting I just thought of to go on to this.
Okay, yeah, please.
So normally we do these things with attributes plus GIL or whatever for so many systems like this. What if we just sat down, we looked at the concept of saving throw, and then we looked back at the players and went, when I say saving throw, I mean it's 2 attributes.
So you add them together, and then you.
There you go.
So you would have
like, it's not
3
perfect,
of them,
but
then 3 saves instead of 2.
It could be anything then, because then, like, the Mind Flayer's
Oh,
mental attack is stripping away my personality. That's wisdom and charisma. Yeah, the snake bite, maybe that's con and dex, because you were jerking away from the attack. I don't know. There's so many ways
I was jerking into the other. Yeah, maybe.
I was jerking into the snake.
And then you can also say sometimes it's just double con. Like,
exactly.
Like a boulder falls on you, don't get crushed, double con. Actually, there might be strength and con. But yeah, you can just say one attribute, sometimes it's the same attribute twice. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's the solution to the problem I have with modern D&D with 6 saving throws, actually.
Yeah.
Because, I'm proficient or not. How about this is a strength con situation? How about this is a dex whiz situation? Like, that would be so much cooler.
Yeah, but Shrek, aren't we doing math? No, we are not, because we're doing the same thing we would do for a skill check.
There's that, and if you're adding two numbers that are not double digit and you can't do that,
Yeah.
Go find something else to do.
Like you can.
That's the bare minimum.
Yeah, at the table you can just like be like, oh, I have 4 in strength, so take 4 dice, and I have 2 in con, take 2 more dice. Oh, I have 6, I guess. Like literally like kindergarten. And it will not take you very long. Okay, so then they talk about backgrounds. Okay, let's look at our backgrounds. So instead of giving like 7 skills, you have at 1. In a system like this, you would have to have more skill points to start, and it would be harder to raise them later because our maximum isn't unbound. It is actually 6 as well for skills, of course, 0 to 6. So what you can totally do is be like, well, you are a spacer, so you for sure get like pick 3 out of this list. Like you always in exosuit, you can take one of these skills, take one of these 2, and then you get you would get these maybe not at 1, but at like, let's say 3.
Yeah, you get 3.
Because they are your core skills. Yeah. I would say you get 3 points in exosuit. You put 6 points into these 2 skills and 4 points into these 3 skills and 4 points into these 2 skills. Max is 3. Or you just put the list as 5 skills and you say you have 10 points, put them somewhere. And then I would say starting attribute max, skill max also 3 for these. And 2 for other skills maybe. I'm spitballing here. But since you get 4 more points, let's make that 8 points and put them anywhere. Fair enough. Now you have an okay skill spread. You get a bonus to hit points or stamina. We can actually keep that. Like, why shouldn't your class determine that a little bit? Since we are sticking with classes in the first place.
Oh yeah. If we have to have classes, then
Arguably, what we could also do is make a list of these things. Obviously, we had to rewrite them. Each of them, we're not going to do this, but you could make a list of advantages and just have this be like, choose 2 or 3 advantages. Then maybe make a list of negatives and choose some as well, and they give you points or something, like what every point-based system will do. Because that's kind of how you arrive also at interesting characters, because they are like a nice little building block thing. And that's like, just look at the special abilities for Spacer as an example of how to rewrite that. So you have space game set by some node spacers, a lucky spacer. Simulate this spacers get a second chance for any save checks they need to make. This means whenever a save check is called for, spacers player may, at their option, choose to ignore the result and immediately re-roll the dice. So this I would just rewrite as, you can re-roll your check for a save. Keeps the spirit alive. You are lucky as fuck. And it's just always on. Very powerful.
Very powerful. And then also gives greater credence to the idea that we had earlier of a save is a particular thing still for this, because this game really wants that to be a thing, and it's very easy to keep it being a thing.
Yes. Spaces have extensive training and experience with survival in space. As a result, characters with a background who are directly exposed to hard vacuum or vacuum conditions will not wearing some sort of exosuit only take half stam damage, not HP. HP damage happens normal. Additionally, spaces exposed to vacuum may make their save physical rolls versus stun only the -2 modifier instead of -5. So this I would reskin as, well, you take half damage from this on your stun track. It's actually, this can basically stay the same. And the same thing, okay, you can't be -5. Like, you get a smaller negative to your saves in this very specific situation. Like, it's interesting that this will come up like every game, and this might come up once in a whole like campaign.
Yep, maybe just once. Yeah.
Because why wouldn't you just wear your spacesuit in space if there's even a low chance of stuff going wrong? Like, it's the first thing you'd see in The Expanse, everyone suiting up as soon as enemies appear.
Yeah,
the scanner.
Immediately.
And then next class, let's see. Stationers are most comfortable working upon space settlements. The spacers get a second chance on any and other skill checks, should they want them, while in or on a space station of some sort. This is weirdly specific. I would write all of these location things as a general pick from location list of space, planet. That's it. Honestly, why is space station specific? That's weird.
It is weird.
It's going to happen the least often. Why are you're not going to be on a space station that much? Actually, I know they are reading this is dumb. Maybe you do like space, a ship, planet side, and you do combat is the third one. I don't know. Maybe this is a bad, like this I don't like this very much. But you could easily apply the same stuff as with the saves here. It's just like, yeah, every time.
Very easily.
You should apply just reroll if you want to. Stations are familiar with the general structure of space settlements, both from a practical and social perspective, as well as stations may make an int attribute check to see if they have some degree of general knowledge right off the top of the head on pretty much any aspect of space stations. So you have Stone Sense, but for space station. This is actually Stone Sense. Anyway, yeah, okay. This you can just keep, but you just roll the dice different. It's fine. And so on. Like, you can rewrite all of these pretty easily, I would say. I don't agree with all of them, because you're so right. Like, imagine if your party is a station and a ground pounder, and then you're like, well, now we are on a spaceship. We both suck. Isn't that nice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is the Ranger problem. Like, I don't know any other way to really describe it, because the Ranger is the one class in D&D where they're just like, but we're not in the forest. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, nobody else says that line.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah. It's super
Even
duper
druids
true.
are kind of okay with going someplace else, but Rangers, no.
Yeah. No, it's super duper true.
So yeah, like, what I would do is right away just do a system that's like, we could just copy pasta merits and flaws from World of Darkness.
Yes.
Or you could look at Savage Worlds and then look at the major and minor benefits, which they call benefits.
Yes.
And just do that, because that's basically what we're trying to do here.
Yes. What I would actually maybe try to do is say, okay, ground pounders, they are planetside people, they are like pioneers. So they get rerolls on skills that apply to that, on rolls that would apply to that kind of stuff, regardless of location. And stationers are people used to like the artificial environment of like space living. So they get bonuses to space living stuff and like fixing shit and so on and so forth. That's what I would do. Spacer, interestingly enough, is more like the station guy is more like a techie, and the spacer is more like the space survivalist, right? So that's kind of the classes. They would change the classes a bit, and then give them rerolls and different things, and you're cool.
Yeah, maybe add another word on there. Call them space nomads, and then suddenly it makes more sense why they get the save bonus. Because if you just say spacer, okay, you just spend lots of time in space. No, I go places. Yeah, I mean, that's very straightforward. Related to this, the skill list, it says, but you can come up with whatever skill you want. So as I've gotten more grumpy in my older age, I like that more and more we take however many attributes you have, multiply it by an arbitrary number, let's say 4, and then, okay, we have 24 skills. Now, not each that doesn't mean 4 skills match up each to an attribute. It just means that kind of bounds how many core skills we're going to have and what the
Yes.
expectations are for a player. And then, of
Yes.
course, people can make up stuff outside of that. That's not a problem.
Yeah. Like, my problem with making up stuff outside of it is you're either going to make up something that never comes up, or you're going to make up something that always comes up.
Yeah.
Very difficult to, like, find the niche
Go in
where
between.
that's not in between. Like, we are all in agreement that shooting gun is going to be a core skill. We are all in disagreement that toaster repair is going to be not a core skill. But is toaster repair going to be useful if I write on my sheet? Only if the DM wants to, and we are in actually a different kind of game. But yeah, that's why I'm against freeform skills, except if you stay there, that's less expensive and just for fun, like Shadowrun does. Just get a bunch of freebie points to put into your wisdoms and knowledge skills. And those knowledge skills, sure, you can pick useful ones, but your knowledge of, like, I don't know, corporate structure or even security systems is not going to trump actual active skill knowledge in electronics when it comes to, like, getting past the system. You might get a small bonus from having both, but it's not going to break the bank if you have or not have the knowledge skill. That's at least how I've always seen it run and how it's supposed to be run according to the book. And that's the good way to do it. So if you want freeform skills, make a different list for them, but have a normal ass thing for that, like a normal ass list of whatever how many skills you want that govern the thing. Isn't that hard? But make them general enough. Like astrogation is a nicely general skill. Athleticism is a nicely general skill. Bureaucracy, why would you ever need it? But okay. Cargo handling, sounds like we're flying around in space. Bladed combat, bludgeon combat. Like, why is it two different ones? Dual wield is, of course, it's a skill. Of course, it's a D&D book. We had to have it. Hand-to-hand combat. Oh, great. The least useful of all of them because you can never do damage. A heavy weapon, pistol. There isn't even a heavy weapon in this book, guy. You didn't stat one. I guess I know they are there. Of course they are there, but put them in the book.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yep. That's the reason why I laughed at cargo handling is this. This is one of those skills where you could say, yes, it comes up all the time, but at the same time, you'll say, but why does it matter?
Yeah.
Like, there are some skills that are also like that, and that's the perfect example.
Yes. I do find it funny that criminality, which is like your skill in, is it protecting against criminals, earning money without a job, working for gangsters, like, basically all of crime in one skill can be based on int, whiz, or charisma. So if you're just a wise guy with high charisma, then you just get a good amount level in it, no matter what. Like you always pick the highest out of this because why wouldn't you? So it's funny that really like everyone is going to have a high value in this if they take a skill at all. It's very strange. This pick one thing. Okay, and how would we solve this? Well, it's simple. You have a level in criminality, that is, say 2, and then if the DM tells you roll criminality with charisma, you do that, and if you tells you roll criminality with intelligence, you roll that. It doesn't have to be
easy.
1.
Yeah, so easy.
And this system could do that too very easily because you already write down the skill level.
Yep.
So nothing is keeping them from it except they wanted to make it different for no reason. They wanted to make it so if you are dumb and unobservant, you can still be charismatic and be good at crime.
Yeah. I want to be an observant criminal. I want to be a charismatic criminal.
I don't quite understand the logic, but whatever. Engineering, you can put in, sure. And then engineering is a lot of applications. Exercise is piloting the suit. Explosives is a skill. Gunnery, most of these can just go into the list and you can have points in them. Cool.
exactly.
Money stays the same. I guess equipment can stay the same. We have to talk about how we do damage and stuff, though. So, since we have a skill-based system, a weapon can do a base damage in a set. Let's say a knife does 2 damage or whatever. And then our skill roll determines the extra damage. So if we knife attack for 3 successes, damage goes to 5. And then the enemy, if we are attacking, could dodge, which would be a skill. And then they subtract from the damage or subtract from more likely the attack. And then if any dice remain, then you do damage. And all the rerolls and stuff, you just do that before you see how much damage you do. And then armor, well, in the classic D&D, in classic World of Darkness, you cannot soak most damage because it doesn't make sense. I can't just stand there and be like, yo, you stabbed me. Well, I don't care that much. It's not gonna acknowledge this. Fuck off. You can't shrug off a stun like someone hitting you with a stick. It hurts. And it's just in quotation mark non-lethal damage. So you are allowed to soak that with your con. You aren't allowed to soak other damage with your con. It's only armor. In Shadowrun, you are allowed to soak any damage with your con. And we could do either here. And the only thing we would have to change is how high the base damages are. If you can't soak most damage, base damages should be low. And if you can, base damages can be higher. And if we say we have like 6 or 8 or whatever hit points plus a modifier, I think saying weapons do between 2 and 6 damage is okay. And then armor can be more dice to roll against it. Importantly, it is dice, not straight reduction. If you want to keep the absorption level thing, I would say don't.
Yeah.
If you were really intent on it because you really like it, it just has to be less than it's doing now. You can be like, it absorbs some of the damage and then you roll shit after that. It can't be absorbing at the end. It's too much.
Yeah. I like systems where we're rolling dice to soak or the like, to if you have a permanent, definite damage reduction element that you don't need to roll for, that should be really rare and really small every time. Versus, it just adds to your soak. That's I prefer that for this stuff because then you're not thinking also, gosh, I soaked 12 damage, or I reduced the damage by 12, but my armor took 12 damage. Oh no, what do I do? Like, that never comes up then. Instead, it's, okay, they took the brunt of the damage. And it makes sense because it won't happen every time.
Yep. And I get it. It's supposed to be like realistic in this, in that your armor breaks as it absorbs stuff, like almost ablates over time. That is the idea. But who really cares? The DM can always just tell you, listen, you just got hit by a huge attack. Your hard suit is no longer vacuum capable because of that. You have to repair that. Your powered armor, like the helmet is broken. And you're gonna get a -1 to its whatever the fuck. That's just DM fiat, and you could even have a rule that says if you took health damage instead of stamina damage, then your armor might have also gotten damaged. Like, that's the system you could write. It wouldn't be that hard. And yeah, the only condition this book talks about is stun. So we can just leave that out and say only electroshocked. I guess that if you take damage, the DM decides what happens with that. You could be out for a few rounds or something, or you roll a save and then you're out. Like, whatever. And that's kind of already the game, isn't it? Like initiative, you can actually just be like, okay, you have more dex points, you just go earlier. Okay, like, the fact that the book is like you subtract from 20 and then you have a second number. Who cares? Let's say they have more decks, so they go first. It's the same thing. Why are we doing this? This is like Sacco, but for initiative. Why is it there? So weird. Like this doesn't want to roll initiative. Wait, oh no, you do roll. What the fuck? Lowest roll goes first, reroll any time. Wait, what? Why is the number? Oh. Basic initiative versus the advanced rolls. Okay. So, wait, ID for most NPCs is 10. I don't care. Like, why is this here? Why is this stupid rule here? Like, it's initiative. It's not that hard. You can also just do 5-bit ultimate and just take turns. Because why not?
Yep.
The only thing you don't do is what Daggerheart does and be like, yeah, just do whatever you want, and then at some point someone else will do stuff, and we don't care how you arrive at who does stuff next. Because that is literally the worst initiative system I've ever seen in my life.
It is. It really is. It more and more this Mother May I, it just doesn't work in games. It just doesn't. That's Powered by the Apocalypse really popularized the concept of Mother May I, and I get so tired of it now because at some point, dude, no. Matter 3 does this. It doesn't do this other thing you think it does. It does this. At some point, there is a rule in a book that is not the GM just arbitrarily saying something.
Yes.
Or a player arbitrarily saying something, which is the biggest problem with Powered by the Apocalypse. Just because, hey, I want to have a knife in my hand, and fuck you, I'm going to have a knife no matter what. Did you set it up, man? By your character being like a criminal or a knife enthusiast. Did you do any of those things? No? Then you don't have a knife. Like, things should follow a logic. And initiative systems where we just go back and forth, that works great for a lot of games. Initiative systems where, like, it's Shadowrun or World of Darkness, where somebody could be supernaturally fast, and you have to have an initiative score, that works fine too. Yeah. But when it comes to this, if you want it to be done quickly, don't roll a single fucking thing.
Yeah.
Just go back and forth.
Like, it would be even really cool to be like, okay, now you're just going to sit in order of initiative at the table. And we are going to go from left to right along. And when the NPCs go in between, they go because their dex is also that high or higher or whatever. Easy. Mother, may I reduce the big woman? You roll a charisma plus seduction, please. Difficulty is how many feet tall is the woman? Because we can take the feet and 8 feet. Okay, then you roll against a 8. No, it's too high. Let's say you roll against a 6. But the big woman has a resistance roll based on wisdom and I would say it's double wisdom because she has to notice you but she's so tall she might not because she just looks over you, and then she has to resist if she does notice you. So we're actually going to take, instead of taking a wisdom score, we're going to take first the negative of a wisdom score and then the wisdom score. So it's basically just going to be 6 dice no matter what that she has for this. And then we're going to see who wins. Anyway, I do enjoy that this game is like you can move 7 meters per turn, plus like in athletics, if you have athletics a bit more. Since athletics isn't bounded, I can see that eventually being very, very silly if someone just keeps pushing aesthetics, which would be a stupid move because you want to push other skills. But whatevs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, healing, like you can, yeah, there's skills that heal you, who cares? So, and that's it. Like it would work better as a system, and it would be like about the same complexity.
Yeah, it would be about.
And what we achieved is that the character classes are less cookie cutter. Because currently, like I'm sure if we go through the skill list, let's just like do that right now because I want to think about. So we get 7 of these skills, right? Let's just ignore that 3 of them are set. Can we make a rounded character just having 7 skills in this thing, or are we going to feel like we are missing something? Like astrogation, we don't need for everybody. Athleticism, I would say that's the first one. I would say most people would have that somewhat. Right? Like most people do some sort of athletic activity, and it's you have it in school. It's just, you're an ex-military guy, of course you have it. Like you have to have it almost, so on and so forth. So that's one. Bureaucracy, not really. Cargo handling, not really. Combat, like one combat skill, just for playability, I would say is also set. I don't care which one is pick. Computers in this world, I'd give it half. But it seems like most people would have that skill.
Huh.
Criminality, not so much. Engineering, the other half, like you're a spaceship person, you have basic knowledge of repairing shit. Like it's not realistic that you wouldn't. That's where 3. Exosuit, since this is EVA shit, you would have this 4. Explosive snow, gunnery, no, not really. Interrogation, lying, it's half together. That's half of a skill. Again, most people would know how to lie and how to spot a lie, but at least a little bit. So 4.5. Medico, no. Performance is like playing an instrument. Like you would have one skill that is something hobby like. So we had 5.5 already.
Yeah, we are. Mm-hmm.
Piloting, no. Piloting ground, piloting space. Arguably, if piloting ground is its own skill and air is its own skill, like we're at 6.5 now because most people know how to pilot a craft of some kind. Science of any kind, 7. That's half a skill. Social engineering is very specific. I'm going to say no. Stealthiness, it's half, 7.5. We're already over the minimum. Stewarding and survival hostile environment, survival urban, survival vacuum, okay. So we are barely able to make the character. I can easily see many characters who are missing skills they want. Point being, most of these the characters, since they don't like get 3 skills always that they have to pick out of a list of 6 or 7 total. Mm-hmm. So even if you raise some of the other of those ones afterwards and pick them anyway and stuff, you're going to end up just not having something that you should have that makes sense to have. And that's weird. And our system just solves that because you can put 1 point in athletics as you want, making the character realistic, and that's fine. Going to see like. You get bureaucracy, exosuit, survival. Why would why? Oh, this guy gets 5. Oh, look.
Oh my goodness.
Drifter gets extra skills. Ooh. That's crazy.
Very quickly, but not always to great depth. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, you don't get a level 2 in them. They don't get a prime skill. That's why they get more. Cool. Due to the size of big woman trademark, I will need cargo handling to handle. Wow. That's fair enough. I agree.
Huh. Just don't tell her that.
No, yeah, don't say that out loud.
Oh.
What was I getting at? Yeah, again, like since we said we have like 12 points or something, 8 freebie points, I forgot what we said. It doesn't really matter.
I forget.
You can make the character you want that has some skills in lying and stuff. Because otherwise, very difficult, actually, to make what I would call a functional human being in this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a very good way to put it.
I'm sure, like there's skills in here that just aren't there. Like, there should be a generalized skill for crafting. Like, cooking isn't represented. Most people know how to cook, just a little bit. Other crafting isn't represented at all. Like, engineering could maybe stand in for it, but that's weird that engineer can just do anything. Professions aren't in. It's again cooking. Like, you could argue cooking is either. I don't know what D&D says. Doesn't really matter. Like, everything to do with acrobatics and athletics, being athletics is fine, but also D&D hates it because they never did it like that. And yeah, I don't know if there's like other skills that might be missing. Like, if I think on the World of Darkness list, it feels like there might be. Like, you don't have very many. Maybe you don't have a perception stat at all. That's interesting, actually. Do you?
No.
Interesting.
Noted absence.
Notable absence because, well, I guess we just roll wisdom to notice things then. Because that's the thing.
I don't know if it mentions that under wisdom.
It always comes up, right, in normal games. Otherwise, this game is one of those where the DM just tells you what to see, and then you have to live with that. Which is... I don't like that style of game, to be honest. Might just be an oversight, because, again, one person wrote this.
Yeah, wisdom is only general insight into situations and human behavior. That's it.
Yeah, even the stealth skill doesn't mention how you counter it. Because if you roll stealth good, you just win. Yeah, that's an oversight for sure. Yeah, it's not that big. She cannot notice you because she has no perception. Oh God, you were fucked from the start. Oh no. It's funny.
Isn't that Sunder's goal though? You to be fucked from the start?
No. It's
like...
not that kind of fucked. It's so funny that like there's 5 survival skills. It's so stupid. Why?
So stupid. There's a lot of this could be handled by I can take a specialty. Like there's so much of that going on here. And yeah, I do think it's ridiculous if you want your game to be space game to have only one engineering skill. When you could have a lot of other things going on. But
like
what we're arriving at is, could we make Aeon Trinity good? Like, that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, we could. We already I'm saying that this is basically the same thing. This this is missing the mark in what we just did. In that the system they present is just set up worse than you just picking World of Darkness or Shadowrun, stripping out all the extra systems and just having skill plus attribute rolled dice now.
Yeah.
It would play better and lead to better results.
Immediately.
I have done
Very
this.
fast.
I have played the space game for like a year with Winter, not Winter Starcraft, but Winter the artist, and with friends. That was just Shadowrun with the implants, but without like some other rules like and stuff. That we just played in space. Like, it just worked. Just didn't use we didn't use complex matrix rules. We used complex drone rules. It was just straight rolling dice. Tell me what you want to do. Just roll the dice, and then it either happens or it doesn't. Worked fine. I never had to like prep it. Sure, they had to read this thing to make their characters, but that's why the reason for that is, of course, that there's the other thing this misses is stuff. This game has 8 weapons in it and 4 armors or whatever. It's not enough. Because
so not enough.
it's the future. Where are my implants? Where's my weird psionics? Where's my anything? Like, even if you don't want the weird psionics, you want this to be a hard sci-fi. You wrote space opera. Space opera is what Jedi are in. Like, if this was The Expanse, then you couldn't have it. And even The Expanse has some weird shit in it. Like the guys who can just take a little drug and then know if you're lying instantly from reading your like involuntary micro movements and stuff. That is basically a form of like realistic psionics.
It is, yeah.
And that could be in here. Anything could be in here, but very few things are. And even if that's a Starship out there, just gave you Starship rules how you could make your own.
Yeah.
And then have one rule that says the bigger the Starship, the more it costs to dock somewhere. So the bigger dock. Like, come on, guys. Like, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and let's be real about one of the things that is a slight difference between a lot of fantasy stuff and a lot of modern or future or cyberpunky stuff. And let's add steampunk in there too. You have a lot of stuff in those kinds of games. In a fantasy game, you might talk about, yeah, I have travel rations, a backpack, blah, blah, blah. But it's never things that are just like, gosh, I wish I really had that for this situation, otherwise I'm not a professional. Except when it comes to like dungeoneering with traps, but we're not getting into that.
Mm-hmm.
The point is that there is a reasonable number of things and stuff that you are expected to own in order to be a functional member of whatever it is that your character is in modern or future games. That's just it. And if you're not going to give that at all, if you're not going to give me, let's just do a low number, 40 different types of guns, because that's even a low number for a science fiction setting.
Yeah.
If you're not even willing to even entertain the thought of 40 different guns, then don't write one.
Yes.
And the reason why I say that is because if somebody plays a mercenary or the X-Mill in this, they want to know about all the guns and how cool they are. They just don't want to, because it's the kind of person that would play that. And if you don't do that, then never mind. If you don't talk about the kind of planets that we're going to visit, then the planetary guy is going to be uninterested. If you don't talk about the kind of spaceships we're going to be on, the spacer guy is uninterested. If you don't talk about the space stations we're going to be on, the space station guy is not interested.
Yes.
He didn't provide the stuff.
Yes,
that
exactly.
That.
And the thing is, of course, also, you wrote rifle firearm, right? Thanks. You know what Shadowrun does and what systems like this should do? There should be a rifle section. There should be like 8 rifles, and they should be called like the Crimson Reaper and the AK-1247 and the I don't know, the Ares Alpha, because I'm running out of ideas. And then you can be like, have a little blurb. Oh, the Ares Alpha has an underslung grenade launcher and a bullpup design with integrated gas vent system, giving you an extra die to shoot with it, because it's so accurate. And the AK-1147 will never break, but it doesn't give you that extra die, because it's a very sturdy design that was like, will always fire no matter what, even if there's even a bullet in the chamber. But it will, it's not super accurate. And the Crimson Reaper is just a nice 1 extra damage on the thing, because it's just has a bigger caliber or something. And then you distinguished it. You made Crimson the cool new weapon manufacturer that's in the setting now, doing shit. And apparently the Russians are still around, making AK-47s in the future. So where are they? Are they on the Red Planet? I don't know. But you just put like free world building in your shit as well.
Yeah.
Because,
like the stuff available tells us a lot. It just does.
It's like, to remind you, this person writes, he's written at least 1 novel, 2 more, 3, 4 novels that is in the setting of this game. And I don't think for a second that if someone points pistol at me in the setting, he's just going to call it a pistol firearm. It's going to have a name. And if it doesn't, then the book is probably not very good, because where's the inventiveness? right? So you might not have time to identify the pistol, but you would at least describe it as, oh, it's a big blocky pistol. And it's a small slender pistol. It's something like that. It would have anything to distinguish it and make it interesting. And that's not here at all. I don't know. Also, if we have mini grenade, where's normal grenade? Is it better?
Yeah. I mean, if it's powered by mini or made by mini, of course it's better. But yes, yeah, it's telling me a lot about your setting that you don't even have a normal grenade, and you didn't intend that probably because you didn't think of writing it. Like there's just so much there.
Like, I get it. Writing all that stuff is time consuming.
Yeah, it is.
But you don't have you don't have magic, you don't have psionics, you don't have other sources of distinguishment for the characters outside of their like upbringing and previous life as a spacer or whatever. So you have to distinguish them with their stuff at least. Because the players have to latch on to something in this. Like, oh, I'm a trader, I have a ship, it costs me a lot to dock, I try not to dock too much. It's already more interesting than I'm an ex-mill and I have a rifle. Because at least you told me that docking is expensive. So maybe our character is going to try to dodge docking fees a lot, somehow. You know, we can trade commodities ship to ship by docking ships, and that's not going to cost anyone anything. So I'm going to call around near the space station for people who want like the grain we have on the ship. Because I'm really cheap and I don't want to pay money for docking if I don't have to. And arguably other people would do it too, because who wants to pay $700 for 1 day of docking? And so on. Like, right? That informs so much potential roleplay. Just off of two little sentence rule. That can be true for most of the things you write down. Like, people I know a player in Shadowrun who made their whole identity in the game being an Ares fanboy and only using Ares equipment. If it doesn't have Ares on it, I don't want it. They would just basically not do runs against Ares because they were like a fan. And that's a stupid character. It's not very realistic, but it's someone that exists. Someone out there that goes to Disneyland 5 times a year and would never think about burning on Disneyland, unlike me. This is not a condolence of violence. I'm being sarcastic. But anyway, you know,
Yes.
But that's the other thing. Like, there's nothing to latch onto in the equipment section, basically at all. Like, I can see that I need like a hacking device, which is a COM to do hacking. So if I want to do hacking, I need to buy that. Cool. It very looks like this. Yeah.
Huh.
I need some sort of spacesuit. I need armor. I could buy it together because we have that in the book. So I would probably do so. And then I grab a gun from somewhere. And then I have a character, apparently, but it's not interesting. There should be implants at the very least, because it's the fucking future. Give us the implants. There should be like the ability to put like devices into your armor if it's like an armor suit that has like is big and bulky. Should be like all sorts of scanners for hazardous environment shit and radiation and whatnot. Like, basically scour the Shadowrun books and write your own version of nearly everything in them. Because you need the stuff section. It's just necessary.
It's 100% necessary. Because even if, let's just say, I don't want to like have lots of stats for all this stuff, then don't use it as world building then.
Yeah. Let's make it world building and say you need the scanner to do the survival role better. Gives a +1 to survival in the environment they are built for or something. Fine. Like the ship section features not a single ship. Where's the ships? I want to know. Like this is actually a real problem now, because if two people design a ship in this system, it's not going to be anywhere near identical, and you couldn't like interchange them because there's no example of a ship. You didn't think. I know a trade ship is size 2 because of the docking rule. That's more than this whole system section tells me about ships. That's crazy. And again, like, oh, I'm setting a fighter craft in the system. I guess a 12 in maneuverability is good. And the other person like, 12 isn't enough. Maybe 16, and then you put them against each other and they fail. That's why Shadowrun has like 50 vehicles in it, so that I can know that a normal like sedan has 10 body and 10 armor.
Yep.
So that, you know, I understand what the baseline is. And then I can see that an Ares City Master has 20 body and 20 armor, and I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot more.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest one. And then you notice that in between? Easy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why we call these, the original term was vital statistics, because these numbers, they illustrate something, even if it's something that we have to define, like body or whatever. Once we have the definition and then we see that 20 is bigger than 10, then we have an assumption, an extrapolation. And then once we go realize the average body of an average person is 3, then we have even more things we can extrapolate from there. Okay, this Jeep is much more harder to damage than an average person with gunfire, and this tank is almost impossible to scratch with gunfire compared to shooting an unarmed civilian. Like, there's so many things that you establish with these vital statistics, and when you don't take the time to do any of that, then you don't get that in your game, and then we're lost with your rifle parentheses firearm and your shoulder arms and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to say
You had to bring short arms. Yeah, you could even, yeah.
Like, it told me a lot about the setting when somebody called something a shoulder arm. It told me you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, and then the other thing I would immediately say, put aliens in. People want aliens.
Yeah, immediately.
Like, that's the game we really like. No, it wasn't Starfinder, for sure. It wasn't Starfinder. What was the game? Change Stars.
Yeah, Change Stars.
And let's click that open. This one took a while to load, right? I remember that. Okay. It just doesn't want to load the art at the start. Like, okay, this is way more like in the way more done, and actually has custom art and stuff. But this is this is also a space game I could play. It is way more done, and it has like way cooler rules, and it's also free. So why would I choose your game? Oh, look at normal looking character sheet. Lol. Like I don't want to shit on one guy's like passion project, right? But there's just, it is not really a passion project if you just copy D&D.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's the other part of this is, at what point is it actually a passion project? Where? How?
Yeah.
It isn't. Sorry, dude.
Like, it's just D&D. It's just D&D. You took the levels out. You took the stuff out that makes D&D interesting to the players. You took it out. Like, it's just, man. How dystopian change the setting? Maybe it's a far-flung future where Earth is so far away people don't even mention it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite sure if this is like some sort of attempt/vehicle to get people to read the books that he wrote. I don't know, because I haven't read them. Because honestly, I don't want to off of this. It's not like if you wrote 4 books, right? Three-part novella, 40 chapters, 30 chapters, 25 chapters. So it's like ebook kind of. That's thousands of words each, easily. But you couldn't give me a name of a rifle that's not just rifle. Then I don't know. You start with a setting, make a power set, and make the rolls D10 dice pool. Yeah, that's what we just said we would do here. You can dice pool. This makes sense for a game that wants to be skill based way more.
It does. It just does.
Because this game has the distinction of crit success, normal failure, and crit failure. A dice pool system, per definition, has as many like success levels as you have dice.
Yep.
That's always going to be better, and it's going to feel way more cool to roll like just 2 dice for the thing and somehow roll 2 successes and like succeed in spite of every chance that you ever had. Then it's going to feel like to roll like a 1 and have a crit success on a skill you aren't good at.
D20s just don't make me feel good anymore. Like at one point they did, and there was at one point in my life the thrill of rolling a 20 and a crit and all of that. But that's completely gone when you realize, man, that wizard, they have an 8 strength. I'm a barbarian. I have a 20 strength, and I am trained in athletics. And the wizard opened the door, and I couldn't.
Yep.
That sucks. I'm so tired of that.
Yeah,
so tired of it.
Because that's so true. That is like the base problem of D20 is that since everyone has a 1 in 20 chance to make it, plus probably a bunch of more less amazing chances that aren't just a crit, and you always have the chance to fail, mathematically it sucks. Because you can just roll like shit. Like I remember the game, the campaign days ago with Chief, where I played a rogue and I couldn't roll above a 10 to save my life for like months. For literally a dozen sessions of game, I couldn't roll above a 10. It wasn't physical. It was rolling on roll 20. So everyone could just see I was just clicking the fucking skills, and it would be like 5, 7, 6. And then I would add my numbers to it, and of course I would fail, even though I was a rogue. And it felt bad. And that wouldn't have happened like if I had like a pool-based system, because then I would, even if I rolled bad in a pool-based system, chances are there's like 1 high dice in there.
Yep.
And then sure, I didn't succeed well, and it might have some consequences, and it might, but at least it doesn't feel completely shit.
Yeah.
And just the math of it works out better.
It really does. Like, we don't play these games to be miserable loser characters. We just don't. Yes, we have characters that have things they're bad at. Like Sunspot was amazingly terrible at social situations. I loved playing her, though. I loved playing her. I loved playing her in social situations because in a dice pool system, my really low charisma score doesn't make me completely unable to do anything ever.
Yeah.
Instead, it's or the other extreme, I only succeed on a 20, even then it's a crit. Like, fuck that. Instead, it was, I had to take a lot longer to convince somebody to do something for me, but I did it. Versus Neela could just flex her arms and the whole room would be enthralled.
Yes.
And that's fine. I want that to be a thing in my game because what else do we have? We need to have these differences between characters, and they need to really matter. But at the same time, with the skill competency, the skill incompetency, you still have to have a way to showcase it in a way that's meaningful. And D20 just never does it. It just never does.
Yeah. Like, again, pool system, if you're bad at something, you have like 1 or 2 dice. And so it's like basically luck if you succeed. And but if you have 6, 7 dice, you're gonna usually do okay. Then it's dependent on the skill number or any modifiers. If what you're left with. And I would say, like, honestly, World of Darkness is the superior one for this one, because Shadowrun, like, you could do this in World of Darkness and not have the implants, and it would be very more playable. Because Shadowrun kind of relies a lot on you buffing yourself with something, either with magic or with implants or with whatever the fuck else. And that's like the style of game it is, because you're supposed to make a very hyper competent character. And in this, you can be a normal dude and still be decently competent, and that's like what World of Darkness excels at, in my opinion. Yeah. Hi. But yeah, there's the thought experiment kind of done. Like, this is not the longest episode, but I think we did it. I didn't set out to make it this. Like, again, the weirdest part of this book easily is the fact that he starts out explaining what a D1000 is, and then it never, ever comes up again. Like, the idea, we know now the characters have like 20 hit points, right? That's, what the fuck are you talking about? The nuke doing D1000 plus 500 damage. So the campaign is over then, I guess, okay? Like, why is this here? It feels like this was written first, and then you just didn't use it again. Very weird. Like, here. Because again, I scrolled down in this book and I was like, yeah, okay, the space opera setting, blah, blah, blah. Dice, D100s, D1000s, that were huge damages. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a crazy game, like Palladium. Cool, and we are doing this. This is good. And then, like, I don't read the books for the off chance we are going to do them for the show. That doesn't make sense to me. I read them before the show when I know we are going to do them in detail. So off of the first impression here, I'm like, yeah, let's do this. This could be crazy. And then it turns out we're just playing fucking D&D, and I'm sorry, but that's... no one's going to care.
No one. Literally no one.
Yeah. And even if this was just D&D, where's the stuff then? Like, even AD&D has more like stuff in it that the characters get over time. Like, the fighter gets more attacks, and the rogue gets skill points in their rogue skills, and the wizard gets spells. Like, something to distinguish the classes. Like, hacking, you don't even need any programs. You just can do it. It's just a dice roll. It's just so weird. The cool thing about being a hacker in Shadowrun is that you have to have all those programs, and then you have to have the agent, and you tell the agent what you want to do, and you have to program it, and then it goes out and does it, and hopefully it does it right, because you let it loose, if it fucks up, you might get in trouble. So you did your best you could, and so on and so forth. And the rigger, same thing with the drones. But you need to have the stuff. Like, it needs to be there. This book needs 200 pages of stuff. The minimum. Not 10 or whatever the fuck many pages it is when we have equipment. And you could double space this whole book, please, and make the font slightly smaller. This is like, no offense, but with how many, like, how much space there is in between these lines and how big the font is, it feels like you had to get to 150 pages with your project. So you basically put a line of space in between each line. I'm sure it's very readable like this. I don't mind that much. But, like, when I first scrolled down this table of contents and was like, oh, 150 pages or whatever it is, 160. That's nice. That's a good number of pages for, like, somebody's passion project. And then I was here with the text. Oh, okay, it's pretty big text, but yeah, okay, it's fine. But it does feel like if this was a normal size book, again, look at Change Stars text. This is also super readable. They have the colored and the clickies in the thing. One page of this book is easily 2 pages of this. So it is actually just 80 pages long.
It really is. It really is. It's... I'm not going to use the word fail because this is obviously the alpha of the alpha of the alpha of somebody's project,
Yeah.
and they just need more stuff if they wanted to make this actually like have weight to it, but it doesn't have enough stuff.
Mm.
And sure, everything in here will work fine. It would work better with a dice pool system, but like
Yeah.
stuff.
Stuff.
I use
Yes.
that word, but we need stuff. We
Yes.
just do.
Like, and the other thing that it's just like, it's just not, it doesn't have the juice. Like, it doesn't have it, because as soon as people realize we're just playing D&D with nothing, like, it's just what do you want on your D&D? Nothing? Okay, just give us a D&D with nothing on it. Like, right? It's the hype is gone. Like, when you realize your class is just, yeah, I get better saves, full stop. So I get 5 skills at 1, and that's it. That's not the only thing. It is very, very playable because it's so simple.
Oh yeah.
But this is like me coming up. I remember this still very well. When at one point it was very warm one summer, and my friends and I were all drunk and lying in somebody's living room trying to sleep, because we had done grilling and we had been drinking, and no one could sleep because we were all like a bit too hyper. So I was like, oh yeah, DM a game. Yes, roll stats, roll D&D stats, go. And then they wrote D&D stats, so I say, okay, we goblins, gnolls, or orcs, what do you want to be? You can each be different thing if you want. And they picked, and then we did an evil campaign. They didn't have class levels, they just had some stats, and they were an orc or whatever. And I was saying, okay, well, after the first, they barely managed to kill one like guy making charcoal in the woods. It was their big fight. And then you got him. Now you can pick a class now, because let's go. If your wizard gets 1 spell, a fighter gets gets a bit more damage, and rogue can do sneaky shit with decks. So they picked their class, and then we kept going, right? And there was just, it's fine to just do that for fun. I would never publish that because I'm just like cribbing everything, and it's very obvious in that we didn't even change the names of the attributes.
Yeah, true.
And if I can do this fucking drunk, then this isn't that interesting a project sober.
Well, to kind of piggyback off of that, with me taking this probably way too seriously, that sounds like the perfect beer and pretzels game.
Yeah,
you just described.
It was because we were
literally,
we just had the beer and pretzels before we started instead of during.
Exactly. And if you presented that to me and said, this is the RPG we're going to be playing on stream next week, then we would be able to play it immediately.
Yeah.
And that's the utility, the wonderfully of that. And you also described Dungeon Crawler Classic, basically.
Yeah, which I didn't know about at the time. But
no.
But, it's just like the idea of, you can make a simple thing. It's very easy. You don't need a 260-page book for it, though.
You don't. You really don't.
Like, if you have the idea of your setting in your noggin, then you're like, oh, you need your comlink to hack. You have hacking skill, but you need your comlink. Okay, where is it? Well, you will have it in your, like, realistically on your person, but you have to, like, describe that you take it out and shit, and yeah, okay, cool, let's go. Or, well, you will wake up naked, you don't know where it is, so find it. That's the first bit of your problem. Because if you want the door open, you better put some pants on and find your comlink. Stuff like that, right? And that's what this is. This feels like somebody's, again, like, it feels like somebody had to make an RPG in a week. So they just wrote the easy solution. I'm sorry, but copying D&D for it is just a bad idea. And it's not going to lead to interesting outcomes. Except, of course, in the sense that I can play this game with my friends and have fun. if the expectations are also not high, right? Like, oh, we were all drunk and lying down, and I'm half hungover, half drunk as DM. Yeah, it's gonna lead to the best adventure ever. Not at all to you are in the woods and there's one guy making charcoal. What do you do? And then 2 hours of them sneaking around in the woods and fucking everything up they try until the guy notices them, and then they fight him, and then they somehow don't die. And then they had fun because they were also drunk and didn't expect the world from it. It was just like, we can't sleep. We are too hyper. Let's pass the time. So, but and if that's your like ambition for your game, that's not enough. The ambition is too small.
It's too small. It's too small is the best word, because what I often come back to as a DM, as a player, as a whatever, if you play small, you're going to get small.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get the epic feeling that you get when you play big or do something big. You just aren't.
Yep.
You never will.
Yep. I think that can be the final words on this, except we need to pick our least favorites and favorites, I guess. Patrick, what's your least favorite? No, let's start with favorite. What's your favorite?
They stuck to their guns. They said, hey, this is all this is going to be.
True.
They didn't put in weird things like, here's a D1000 table on what the universe is like, but there's only 3 results on it. Like, they didn't do any shit.
Oh my god, it's way better than that game. Iron Heroes? No, it wasn't Iron Heroes. What's it called? Fuck.
Iron Sworn? I don't remember.
Iron Sworn, yes.
Yeah.
Fucking garbage.
Like, I'd rather play this instead of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, that immediately tells you something.
Like I said, this is very, very playable. I would never want to like do a campaign in it, but if it's like, hey, we have 5 minutes to get started, let's do something. I would not want to play World of Darkness. I would want to play this because I can have a character in 5 minutes. Not that I really want to play it, of course, but you get what I mean. My favorite is their crit rule for damage, because I like the idea of that. It's double or max normal weapon damage. That should be a D&D rule. That's really good. That's the one really good idea in this for that style of game. Like, that's a rule D&D should have had in it ever since the double damage for crits. Because nothing feels worse in D&D than being like, yeah, crit, double ones. Shit. Feels so bad. And you roll less damage on a crit than the average dice roll on your one die would have given you. It's so shit.
Yeah. My least favorite is the 1.5 spacing without columns.
Yeah, the layout is really basic and stinky.
I'm getting up there in these years, and if I can't read it on my phone, fuck you. Just fuck you.
Yeah, I get that. I just think like it's so bare bones and like you also like there's a lot of extra words here that don't need to be here because you did this. Because if this was just a list of things where like skill and usage and so on, and then attribute, like you wouldn't need this under here. You could put them in a box, say combat pistol, dex, and then a very quick description that's like this. And then you wouldn't even, for most of these, need the individual listing. Because it's very self-explanatory what combat bludgeon does. And then you would have like cargo handling, it would explain it more and so on and so forth. They would save space.
Oh, so much space. Yeah.
But yeah, you are so right. Like it feels like what I would do in high school. And I had to write something. So I didn't know what good layouting is. I didn't have software to do it in either. So my documents would just be a text document with maybe some indentations in it. That's it. That's what it would look like. And then I can only imagine the teachers really loved reading 20 of those every week.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
my least
100%.
favorite is, apart from the no stuff, of course, is you give us 3 methods for making character that are rolling, and they are all they one is just better than the others, and if you like roll on the thing, you can have a really shitty guy like 13, 11, 8, 10, 9, 11. Really?
Yeah.
Like that's way below a normal array in any point buy in any D&D I've ever seen.
Yeah.
9, 7, 11, 10, 12, 11. The highest strength 12?
Yeah.
What's going on with this guy? Why would I want to play Mr. Normal Man?
Yeah. Why would I want to play Mr. Loser, to use the term I was using earlier? Like, if we don't play these games to play those people, we just
And they're like, this feels like you just rolled 20 times, like down the line, and put in a list. It's so strange.
Thank you, Pondsmith. Oh wait, this is a Pondsmith product.
Not quite. Like this is like, yeah, this is actually the worst version of Red. When Red, it's like, some of the engineers is worse because you just wrote the bad array, and so you get like 10 points less in your attributes, which you can never raise because you didn't put the rules for raising them in. At least this game has raise rules. But if someone wrote like this array and someone else wrote this array, like if I wrote this array, I would be very annoyed.
I love that this is a better product than Cyberpunk Red.
Yeah.
Just because you could raise your attribute.
Yeah. At least if they didn't forget that basic rule. They forgot a lot of other things.
Oh my god.
It's actually like a tangent that I realized today that I talked about on the server. I want to quickly talk about is the idea. So if you put rules like this in your game, where you roll 3d6 down the line, and like back in old D&D times it was like, do that, write it down. If you roll a 5 for intelligence, you cannot be a wizard. And then you're sitting there like, but I wanted to be a wizard though. And what this creates, especially in young people, because I remember myself playing the old D&Ds when I was very young, probably too young, honestly.
Yeah.
You would just cheat as a child.
Yeah, you just cheat.
You would just like swap them anyway, or pretend to have rolled enough. Like I remember me rolling a character and being like, I have a 6 intelligence. Well, I rolled a 1 in front of it. It's just 16. And the DM is looking at 4 people's dice rolls. He doesn't know. As long as you don't react big to any of your rolls, or you just roll during someone else's, like, and someone else has reacted big just now, and you just pretend, I'm rolling my dice still. Like, and that's the kind of thought you shouldn't really be having about fun time with your friends. How do I cheat in this? But the alternative is that I have to play a fucking fighter again, and I don't want to play another fighter again. Like it creates like a hostile atmosphere at the table by virtue of one little thing. Because now you're going to think, I cheated at that. Is it so bad if I cheated dice rolls too during?
Yeah.
Like,
and does it end? It doesn't.
Yeah, and the answer is, of course, it is bad, and we all learn that. But especially when I was like 12, I didn't have that mental wisdom to be like, no, you shouldn't cheat at the dice rolls because failure can be fun. D&D, the game that you shouldn't cheat. Yeah, actually true. Like, and to be fair, like this game does tell you put them where you want. But it doesn't tell you for everything. It tells you in this method, roll 3d6, put them where you want, and then you can re-roll them if you want, but you have to accept the new result, which is the worst possible one out of all of these.
Right.
If you're risking a decent character to re-roll and have a worse, somehow I rolled high on my re-roll. How weird. Like, it's so stupid. Another classic, by the way, if you want to know about advanced cheating at the table, is to have dice that have like a symbol for their max or minimum. Because then you can pretend to count it as the max or minimum as you do it naturally. Because why wouldn't you? Right? The skull on the dice is the 1 actually, yeah. And the next time it's the 6 because I need a 6. Yes, I cheated a lot when I was a kid. I really don't anymore, and I really don't like people doing it. But I also, like, at least on one occasion, I had a player in the game who I could tell was cheating because he always rolled like 15 or more. And he would always roll a die where you couldn't read the numbers because it was like very worn down, and would pick it up and pretend to read the die and then tell me the number. So it's like, yeah, great one. That's really subtle. I just let him cheat because apparently he needed it to feel good about himself. So I'm the DM, I don't care. And but then I was like, I didn't re-invite that person after that campaign because that's not cool. And that's what that actually ends up breeding, in my opinion, is people who they can't get used to fair failure, because the dice should be fair, and the dice shouldn't be determining your character's fate at the start of you having no luck in one particular set of dice rolls. Because like you are breeding jealousy by being like, man, Tim next to me has like an average 4 points more per stat than me because he rolled good. That sucks. I feel bad. I'm jealous of Tim now, and I'm resentful of the DM for making us roll stats. And I'm gonna feel okay about cheating now because I feel these feelings. Okay, that's a bit of a tangent. I'm not saying this game is like particularly to blame for that. Many games do it. But just have point buy. Or just say everyone rolls 46 and you can take any of the arrays anyone has rolled. And you can also all take the same one if someone rolled 3 18s or something, if you want to. Like, just make it fair. Make it so you at least picked something instead of just rolling shit or rolling well and feeling good or bad about it, and then you're stuck with that result for potentially years. Sure, someone has a story where it's like, oh, I played this character with really bad stats because I rolled bad, and it was so fun to be a normal guy in this party of Superman. Like, yeah, if you're a particular kind of person, that's fun for you.
Yeah.
If you aren't that kind of person who likes to portray this vulnerability and stuff, it's not fun, and then it's just bad. It's just the opposite of fun.
And that same person often will say, but Han Solo was a regular guy. No, he wasn't.
No, we can look at the old Star Wars game to realize how many fucking dice he had and everything.
He's not a normal guy. You can't tell me that. Lando Calrissian wasn't either.
No.
Like,
the guy who, like, those books are so funny because the robot who you see once with the weird head thing, it looks like a bald guy, is also stated and is super powerful. Just because he appeared in a movie for a minute. It's so funny.
I remember that. He had like knowledge 8D or something.
Yeah, like
what?
Anyone who was on screen in Star Wars actually has like 10 dice for every fucking thing they want to do.
Yeah.
Except for 3CPO, who only is good at talking.
Yeah, that's it. And even then, like, it was like a whole paragraph devoted to, but he has 12D with this language, but the 10D with all these other languages. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yep.
What? Why?
Right, we are tangenting though. I honorable mention to you fucking like inventing these ID things, which is stupid, because they are just the stat minus 20. Come on, 20 minus stat. It's not hard to do. So don't write them. It just makes this a fucking nightmare to read.
Oh my god, it's a nightmare to read. I hate it. I hate it so much.
All right. I think this closes the book on this. Like, this is just, I'm sorry, but this doesn't have it. I'm not gonna like shit on the person who wrote it, because I'm honestly gonna, like, so many people make this mistake where they know D&D, and it seems like they have to, if they write their own thing, have to make it D&D as well, because otherwise, what am I gonna do? And the answer is, if you write your own game, like, would you write a book after reading one book? No. You would read a bunch of books, you would read a bunch of stuff, and then start writing, hopefully. Would you build a boat after, like, seeing wood float down the stream? No, you would probably also get some knowledge about building a boat and doing it like then. And in the same way, you have to study at least a little bit, like at least the other big products that are out there, and then make an informed decision about what game to like steal from. Like, not steal from is wrong. It's not. These ideas are so generic that they can't really be stolen. But which game is the right game to take the inspiration from, that for the thing you want to do? And it just isn't D&D.
No, it just isn't. It just isn't.
All right, I think that's enough. So,
yeah.
Drake, what do we do next time?
We are doing a game that I gave you an image link so you can put that up on screen if you like. Artesia, Adventures of the Known World.
Oh, a fusion-based role-playing game written and illustrated by Mark Simley. Oh no, he's almost a Symbieta. He's close.
Yeah.
Okay,
I choose to pronounce his name Smiley, like he's the
Smiley.
Universe Miles O'Brien.
It sounds better than what I just said. I'll take it. Yeah, I like this art very much. It's very like, it's a very like solemn looking people.
Yes.
And you can tell we are doing fantasy shit.
Yes. So why did I pick this? I will tell you well in advance, so nobody's surprised.
Okay.
The opposite of what we just read.
Oh.
The total opposite.
Nice.
Because it's A, fantasy. B, you have 15 base attributes.
Oof.
C,
that's nice.
It's based on R. Talsorian's fusion system, but it's not an R. Talsorian game. So what if somebody took Mike Pondsmith's brilliant idea and did something with it on their own?
Hell yeah.
Which, okay, it's not based on D&D. What the fuck? And then D, look at the art. The art's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like
look at this. Dare call her big lady. Like her.
There are many very well drawn, strong ladies in this book.
It's one of the wizards from Magica is here, even as one of the staffs from the game. You can't convince me that's not a reference.
No, you can't convince me either, because I think there's even like a tarot card for that character. I don't remember. But yeah, like it even has its own tarot deck illustrated in the book. Stuff like that is what we're talking about here. Where, you look at the rules, and yes, I said the 15 attribute thing to make you go, oh my god. But that's kind of the point also. At what point do you overlook that for a setting that is very detailed? We'll find out. Yeah.
Sounds good to me. We are back on Monday. I think we're playing Bar.
Yeah, we're playing Bar.
And yeah, I'm gonna see if we can rate someone. See who we got. I must vet my free games a bit more in future, but to be honest, this just seemed cool, so I picked it, and it was not a good pick. But that's what happens sometimes.
Well, the discussion was good though. Like,
yeah,
it was very good for that. So.
Yeah, I agree. Like, because I think it's very obvious just how you know, how important it is to pick the right foundation for what you're trying to do.
Yes.
Okay, we have Rainbow. We have Rainbow a lot, though. I think Rosemary Darling is getting the raid.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, what's this game? It looks cute. Yep. Already now. Oh, Fields of Mystery is out then. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is.
At some point. Yep, it's Red Rosemary. She's been going a while, but who cares? Yep, have a good weekend, everybody. Have a good Sunday. I'm gonna play some World of Darkness tomorrow. It's gonna be great.
Great.
And yeah, have a good one, everyone. Was there anything else? No. Oh yeah, just to say it though, real quick. I'm off work soon because I took time off for my birthday. And I'm gonna do like some sort of drunk / 24-hour stream event during that 2 weeks. Because yeah, it's gonna be my early summer vacation. So yeah, it's gonna be await some sort of announcement for something. I'm still poking at that, what I want to do.
Mhm.
Well, so yeah, see you soon, folks, and thank you for being here. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.